If I handed you $500,000 and said, go buy a home in Vancouver, this is what that money could buy you in 2025. We're not looking at 2019. We're not looking at in theory or on Reddit. These are 5 unique properties that sold in Vancouver, and they sold at virtually the same price. So we're going to see today some diversity, and we're going to see where your dollar stretches in Vancouver and where it really compresses. So let's get it right into it, and we're going to start with this one, 501 1238 Seymour Street. Now, I think it's important to see where that is to start things off. We're right here in Yaletown, sort of downtown Vancouver, or kind of bordering Yaletown here. So not a bad spot, close to the park, close to the SkyTrain, and this property sold for $492,000 on September 28th of 2025. And at that price, with 777 square feet in a 1996 concrete built condo, you got to wonder, what's the catch? You're getting like a New York style loft flavor with some West Coast vibes. There's got to be a catch here. Right off the top, I'm going to tell you the catch is no parking. And while that might work for some people, it's a big compromise for others. And I think that's going to be a common thread that we see as we look through these listings, right? At $500,000, you are constrained to a menu of compromises. You need to define what value means for you, and not really absolute quality, but really an alignment between features and benefits that fit your lifestyle. So anyway, let's get into this one. I want to really show you what money can buy here. So we have 2 levels, right? So sometimes I feel like that is 2 spaces, 2 small spaces stacked on top of each other, which not always desirable, but again, it could work for some people. This is maybe for your like urban creative type. You've got 15-foot ceilings, so that's really nice to have. That's a lot of volume. It's been updated, right? That's a decent kitchen for sure. You got in-suite laundry, which at 500 grand, sometimes you don't get that. Got a little space for office in here. There's your bedroom space on the upper level, so separated from your living space. Concrete ceilings. Got a bit of a view there. That's going to be the locker, which I'm going to assume is not in the suite. Maybe we'll get a floor plan to look at. Bathroom, right? Bathroom's got is updated too. So this is a nice little spot for someone to live in if you're okay with no parking. And the building itself has some amenities, right? Here we got a gym. We got a rooftop deck we saw out there in a couple pictures back. Let's just go right back to it. Here you go. And a great location in downtown Vancouver. So that is... What also I love about this one is the strata fees are quite low, actually. For 777 square feet, you are looking at $377 a month for your strata maintenance fee. That's a pretty good value there. What else do you want to know? I mean, like I said, minutes from Yaletown, minutes to the SkyTrain, and you can have pets here. Yeah, that's what $492,000 bought. So let's move on to the next property here. Let's see. Going on to Mount Pleasant, we have 207 444 East 6th Avenue. Now, this is an older unit built in 1974. It's a 1-bedroom, 707 square feet. Again, this one's quite older, right? It's what, 22 years older than the previous listing we saw. It does have parking. It does have a locker. It is a wood frame. Let's see exactly on the map here what the location is for you. So you've got Great Northern Way, you've got Science World over here, and you got Dude Chilling Park just over there. So, great little location, very hip, and I I don't know what I would want to say. Good for a young professional, hipster, maybe. You know, this is more of a character home and community with some characters in it here. I would say it's got some more cool factor than living downtown. Jumping into this one though. This one sold for $490,000, down from 525, so they did ask a fair bit more. It is got a higher strata fee at 467, and let's see, shared laundry in this one, so that's kind of a bummer. You don't get your own in-suite laundry here. We can maybe look at this floor plan to start off with, right? I like that it's all on one level rather than the two smaller levels stacked on top of each other, but that's just for me personally. Decent sized bedroom, very big bedroom actually, and little storage den space back there. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Getting into the photos. Okay, so it's got some updates. Is this one a skylight or just one of those? No, I think that's one of those fluorescent lights in the kitchen. Not my favorite, but it's definitely had some updates since 1974. What else we got? We got a bit of a view. We've got updated floors. I mean, this isn't bad for a 70s building. This is, and especially at $490,000, like you could do a lot worse than this. This is a good deal. The windows look original on this building, so those might need to get replaced at some point. The bathroom's a little dated, but again, what do you expect for 1974? Balcony with some views of the trees. Like that is your classic 70s looking building. All right, so let's see what else we got here. What's great about this one, what's not great about this one, it doesn't look like it's the top floor, so we don't love that. We prefer to be on the top floor in these older wood frame buildings because you do get a good amount of noise transfer there. Let's see. Let's read about the actual building itself and see what it can tell, what they're telling us. So, yada yada yada. Full size furnished south facing balcony, so probably gonna get hot. Crown molding, updated kitchen, well appliances, yada yada. Well managed building, long term peace of mind. Okay, so it doesn't really tell us about the building in there. So I'd be curious to know what's on the maintenance program for that building, but. All in all, 490 grand, good deal for a 1970s building in Mount Pleasant, which is a very desirable area. Let's move on to the next one. But actually, just before we do, I want to give you an idea of like price per square foot in each of these areas. So let's take a quick look at this thing. Like downtown Vancouver, price per square foot, right? Looking right now in November, we're looking at sort of on the east side of downtown, $839 a square foot is the median, and $980 is the average. You can see that right here. If we, or $980 is on the west side. If we go on average, $808 on downtown east side and $975 on downtown west side. So that last one we looked at in sort of downtown on the border of Yaletown. That was, what was that one? Just gonna have a quick look here. Bear with me. That was $633 a square foot. Like that's a heck of a lot less than $975 for a condo on the downtown west side. And that last one we looked at in Mount Pleasant. Let's add that as an area. Mount Pleasant, Vancouver East. Average right now, 1,030. So clearly the most desirable area when we're stacking up these three. And I would say probably maybe Mount Pleasant West is a little bit more desirable. And that one we looked at on East 6th, that was $693 a square foot. So that's, again, that's a lot less. That's like 70% or something. Okay, moving on. Let's see what else we got here. Now we are up to, okay, now we're looking at the Woodsward. So this is sort of Gastown, modern industrial vibe here at the Woodsworth. It is definitely an iconic building, built in 2009. Let's show you exactly where on the map here the Woodsward building is. Right here's the Woodsward development. There's all into Gastown right here. And so you're kind of just west of where things can get a little more gritty on the downtown east side of Vancouver. See, we're still on downtown's west side. But yeah, so that's maybe not the most desirable location, but for some people, it's actually a really great fit, particularly maybe if you're a tech worker. I always found this building was maybe more suited to a young man myself. Anyway, I'll jump into it without passing my own views on that into here. The maintenance fee here, let's just look at that. Insanely high, $757, and this is only a 682 square foot unit. So that's a very big maintenance fee. Now you do get some amenities with it, so bear that in mind. But I mean, yeesh, that's a lot more mortgage you could be packing on for somewhere with a lower maintenance fee. Looking at before we jump into the photos, let's look more about this building, right? Some of the things here that are on offer that are not on offer in some of the other places, right, is the views. And you got 682 square feet. We just said it looks like it doesn't have parking though. Did they write anything about parking in here? Because maybe it just got left out. I don't see anything about parking, so it looks like you have no parking in here, which is, again, why it's so cheap at $495 for a 682 square foot unit. Makes sense. All right, and no locker. So jumping into the photos here, we have obviously a great view and nice open space. Like, this is a great space, I gotta be honest with you. Wow, great views, great looking kitchen. I don't love these doors. I think this is something that some buyers are really going to be shy away from. It does allow you to make your space bigger and more open, so it does add that versatility, but a lot of people prefer something a little more traditional. And I think this is really well suited to a bachelor. Let's keep moving along here. Maybe someone working in the tech industry. Big views. Obviously, they're selling this place on the views. Looks like you got hot water baseboards, so that's included in your maintenance fee. So it helps your electricity bill a little bit. I think all this place really has to offer you is a big open space that's nicely finished. Full service building with a concierge. There's no pet restrictions. I think the amenities is going to be a big feature. Once we get to those, nice to have the in-suite laundry. Let's see if we can get to those amenities. Here we go, right? This is the top floor Club W amenity package. So you've got pool tables, ping pong tables, rooftop deck. You have a gym with an amazing view. We've got the signature hot tub with the W shape there and more rooftop space. Like, this is a great amenity package. I don't know that I would want to pay $800 a month in strata fees though to have it. Great views. A lot going on here. Great access to transit. You've got Nestor's Market right below you. It's in the heart of Gastown. Great space for somebody that wants to live a very downtown lifestyle. Maybe work hard, play hard kind of thing. And you don't need a car. Or maybe you're using Evos and such. So that's what we got at the Woodsworth building. Great price, $495 for that. Make a great rental property too, I suppose. Okay, now we are over towards Commercial Drive here, Grandview Woodlands. Let's see what we've got here. 679 square feet. Like, these are all big one bedrooms that you wouldn't have been able to buy at this price a while ago. Sold for $495, sold in 5 days. 1975 building, again, one bed, has parking, has locker. Let's show you where it is on the map. All right, so just off Commercial Drive, right? So you are very close to the Broadway SkyTrain, Commercial Broadway. You got all the great restaurants and cafes and cool little retail amenities on offer up and down Commercial. So I think this is a great location. And you got parks nearby, particularly Trout Lake, which is nice if you have a dog. Let's see, is this one pet friendly? No dogs allowed. Cats are allowed, but no dogs allowed. I find that's actually not that uncommon. It's sort of common in Commercial Drive. Is cats, yes, but dogs, no. Okay, so we know where it is. Let's just have a quick look at the property here. Alpine Place. It is one bedroom, blank canvas, ready for your decorating ideas. Okay, that can only mean one thing. That means it needs to be renovated. It's got the storage locker, yada yada. Shared laundry. Okay, so no in-suite laundry. We're at shared laundry again. Seems like the trade-off we're tracking here is downtown. You can, you have the in-suite laundry and no parking. And if you want that same sort of square footage in a different area like Mount Pleasant or Commercial Drive, but with parking, you can have the parking and the locker, but now you don't get the laundry and you're in an older building. Trade-offs here, right? That's what we're doing here. What do you prioritize for your lifestyle? Okay, let's see. 3 visitor parking, storage locker, shared laundry. Okay, so not that much to see here. Okay, wait. Newer roof, balconies, plumbing, parquet, membrane, and exterior paint. So that is all great stuff for building maintenance that we like to see. All right, let's see what we got in terms of this unit. I'll note that the strata fees here are $730 actually. That just caught my eye. No, they're not. Sorry. That's just some of my notes mistaken here. $415 for 679 square feet. Not bad. That's fine. Okay. Again, 70s looking building here. We're seeing it. That's a virtually staged picture. It doesn't actually look like that. Here's what it actually looks like. Looks like you got your baseboard. Your heat is going to be included in those strata maintenance fees because it's baseboard hot water. There's your balcony. What else we got? Virtually staged. Let's skip that. Well, all right, let's go back to it for your sake. You can see here's what it might look like with some furniture. Here's what it is. The floors look okay. They look pretty good. It looks like it's been painted, which is nice. Windows look pretty old. Kitchen looking pretty old, even in that virtual staging picture. Oh, I hate these fluorescent lights in the kitchen, so you got to change that. And okay, are we missing a fridge? We're missing a fridge and some baseboards in this kitchen, so you need to buy a fridge. I suppose that probably could be negotiated into a deal. This one looks like, we're missing flooring in here? We are missing flooring and baseboards in the bedroom. Not the end of the world. I mean, even the virtual staging didn't give it any floors. But that's okay. Right? We are getting a blank canvas as the listing advertises. And we're getting it for $495,000. So in a building that's had lots of work done. So, I mean, you get what you pay for, I suppose. Let's see. If I was looking at buying this for somebody, or helping them to buy it rather, I would be wondering, where is the unit in relation to this parking door? Because that's probably going to be a noisy door. There's no concrete overhanging it. If you're right here or right here, you're gonna hear that door, I'm pretty sure. And there's your shared laundry. You have a sauna. Okay, that's kind of fun. Exercise center. I think I'd rather go to the community center. Parking. Parking looks good. Membrane looks good. Everything looks pretty good down here. And then here's just some of the community places you can go to, right? Let's see. Yeah, yep. We know Commercial Drive's got lots of cool stuff going on. Okay, so that is that. Let's move on to our final property here. Now we're into the West End. Another 70s building. Seeing a common theme here? 70s buildings for 500 grand. Typically with shared laundry. Or downtown, you can have a big space but with no parking. Keep in mind, there are smaller places downtown Vancouver, like in that 500 square foot range. I chose not to include those in the listings I wanted to share with you because I wanted to try to share a similar square footage in different parts of town. Like everybody knows you can get a studio downtown for a relatively cheap price, but a one bedroom is going to resell better down the road and offer you like a more long-term livability, somewhere you could maybe stay for a bit longer and not feel like you're cramped. Okay, anyhow, jumping into this one. Where are we? We're in the West End. We are in another 70s building, 1977. This one is, complex is called West Park. You can see right here, we're on Denman. Davy Street is where? Denman, Davy's down there. There is English Bay Beach. Stanley Park's just over here. Cole Harbor. So you're in a really great spot with super high walkability, those nice leafy treed streets. Everybody loves the West End for sure. It's not as easy to get to in terms of like if you want to jump on a bus or something. It's a bit further out of the way, but it is what it is. Now this place actually, they started out asking 600 grand. Then they reduced it to 499, 900, trying to get a quick sale and for somebody to buy, and somebody did. They bid up 500 grand. Let's see, 683 square feet. Yes, parking. Yes, locker, shared laundry. Okay. Yeah, they tried to do a offer deadline for a bidding war. Client wanted property gone, yada, yada, yada. Screaming deal. We're just trying to find out about the building. Reading this. Walk-in shower, floor, spa-like feel, yada, yada, yada. Enjoy West Park building care and neighborliness. Conscientious strata. Interesting choice of words. Numerous upgrades, including siding, roofs, balcony, windows, and lobby. Okay. Like, I'm going to show you the picture, and then I'm going to just pause here. It looks like it's been updated really well. I have a little bit of experience with this building because there was a different unit in here that I looked at for one of my own clients. In fact, we had an offer on it. But when we dug into the strata minutes of the building and the reports, it looks like they've done one wall, maybe two, but there's definitely more siding work to be done and more roofing work to be done. And there was a lot of different problems in here that we were worried about that were going to add up, and we ended up walking away from that property. So it looks like it's a really well-maintained building, but we saw problems in a different unit on the I'm just trying to figure out which side it was on. Maybe on the north side. And I think these guys had done maybe the south and west sides. So not a perfect building, but still a great deal to get such a premium location. Maybe we'll just have a quick peek back at the price per square foot metrics because we want to see how was Commercial Drive. And here we'll get rid of the downtown east one. And West End. Right, we can see Let's just go 1 year. West End, right? Asking price per square foot on average is about $1,011. Commercial Drive is a little less at $943, with Mount Pleasant topping the charts here for average. And median, Mount Pleasant still at the top, West End close by, downtown, and then some about the same trend line. So you can see that what the price per square foots are. And we did at the Commercial Drive property, I think the price per square foot was $730. So again, a great deal. And in the West End, we're looking at $732. So a great deal there as well. Okay, pictures. Sorry, bear with me. Here we go. Look at the floor plan. You got your little covered patio, dining area, kitchen. Like, that's all right. Closet, bath, bedroom. All good spaces. Only 8-foot high ceilings, which feels a little low for my taste. But again, it's a 70s building. Okay, yeah, I remember the lobby here is super nicely updated. This, you're gonna have to dress up this patio, I gotta tell you. Like, more hot water baseboards, so that's included in those maintenance fees, which I think are around $500 here. We'll go back and take a look. Kitchen, closed in, it's painted though nicely. It's got some updates, like the cabinetry. And stone counters, it looks like. Those don't look like plastic, linoleum, vinyl stuff. Like a nice space. This is definitely a nice home. It's a lot nicer than the one that the clients I had looked at. This one had already sold. Some nice wall work there. Bathroom updated. There's your pebbles and spa-like bathroom. Okay, patio, nice, but I mean, you gotta look at this concrete. There's gotta be a way to dress that up. Same here, with some plants or something. And there's your shared laundry, and there's our floor plan again. So, right, let's have a quick look at all these, right? Summarizing all these properties, we're seeing similar square footages, similar sold prices, $492, $490, $495, $495, $500. Sold in a few weeks and different areas. 90s was the downtown, first one we led with downtown, then 70s. 2009 was the newest in the Woodward building. And we had the parking issues that we talked about. So I think, what's important to know here and think about is, like, what are you prioritizing? Are you prioritizing raw space? Do you need that bigger square footage, or would you rather have a smaller studio and have more amenities and a newer finish? Or do you want something with some real style, or those views, or a high amenity count, like a pool? What else? I mean, gym, obviously. You could have games rooms, clubhouse, gardens. There's so many things you can have in terms of amenities. Or do you really want location and that iconic address? I think what we've seen today is just 500 grand can buy you a lot in Vancouver in 2025. I think the same is going to be true for 2026. Prices are not about to jump and go out of control.